Good morning. Today is Sunday, April 12th. We're going to use the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Again, Doreen Virtue doesn't practice her spirituality through the medium of tarot anymore, but this medium makes sense to a lot of people. So, any avenue that helps get the guidance and spiritual messages out there, even if we've moved beyond it. The important thing is we meet people where they are. We meet situations where they are in order to get the message out, and to be present for the process and to be doing the will of the divine. Yeah, like for instance, I have this bell that I ring before I do a reading to clear my energy, to ask my guides to come in, to make sure that what I'm doing is for the collective, as well as for me. We're all here in this together, right? But it's not just for me. So yesterday I noticed it was like not ringing, and I realized I had my fingers wrapped around it. That's not the way you have to hold your palm open and rest it lightly on the palm. So, with the King of Pentacles coming up in yesterday's reading at the end, and along with the Page of Wands, messages, a further reflection as I move through my day with the cards and just kind of continue to reflect and see the ways that the cards and their energy were like kind of playing out in the interactions I was observing, as well as in my own personal interactions and personal journey. It's not so much a way of an impetus to act immediately, as I've been talking about for several readings, that with this energy that's currently available to us, acting immediately is acting with only part of the information. The Page of Wands gives us information about what's important to us, what's our passions, but the King of Pentacles coming in there, it's like, and our value system, like, how do I feel, whatever I'm in, how do I feel valued? Am I putting enough value in the things that I value? What kind of investment am I making? Or am I expecting everybody to come to me? If that king was in reverse, it would have been this kind of vanity king that says, y'all need to come to me, and we're going to do it my way. Well, if that's what you want, then of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But no, that's what's going on. So no, getting the messages. This is what's going on. And then again, the wands are action. These are the actions that I take. That Page of Wands also reveals this is the kind of actions that I'm taking. Do they actually serve the things that I value? Do they make me healthy in my body? Do they make my home life healthy? Do they make my relationships healthy? Do they reflect well in my bank account? Do I feel wealthy in this situation? Do I feel valued? Am I valuing myself enough to show up? Are my actions showing that I'm showing up for this no matter what? Again, can I hold this lightly rather than with an iron grip? Because then we're just controlling. Again, King of Pentacles in the reverse would have been a controlling king, like, I'm going to hold on to this no matter what. And do I love something enough to value it and actually let it be cultivated? Because we're holding on too tight. Anything that's forced is not going to be long lasting. King of Pentacles is all about long lasting. Is the stuff that I'm doing in the Five of Cups, like, am I doing, again, like, go back to the party. The sun was in the middle of that reading, illuminating the actions that we do, illuminating the stuff that our heart desperately wants. but are we doing the actions that show that the actionable steps that show that we value what our heart desires? Or are we hiding? The sun's here. It's not going to let that hide, not in this energy. But that doesn't mean that we need to do like these massive full-on changes. We've got 2 cards coming out. Yeah, so here we are. Because it may feel like too much. It may feel like too much information. But there's a push to make a decision. 10 of Fire is the 10 of Wands. Sorry. These 2 coming out together suggest when you're feeling overburdened, when it feels like the heat is on, which it is. As I said, no need to make this an urgent decisions. Absolutely not. 4 of Air is the 4 of Swords in the traditional tarot. And that absolutely, we've had this card come up in other readings a few weeks back, quite a few times actually. So to take time to meditate on before and to get some perspective, in order to get perspective. Remember that 5 of Cups is the number 5, so it's about changing our attitudes and changing our perspectives. When we change our attitudes, we can change the emotional field and the way we look at things, the way we consider things. And then it's a card of consideration rather than a card of despair. Taking the time to be in a meditative place, to rest. This energy on the board that we have coming in is absolutely requiring this to decide, how much of this am I really supposed to carry? How much of this have I been carrying too much of this situation? King of Pentacles is about collaboration, and asking for help is accept help from others. And then with the meditation, this is inviting your spirits, your guides, in order to help you sit, to pray, to meditate. I read a thing in one of my affirmation books about how prayer is anything that opens your heart. Meditation is anything that helps and quiets your mind. What are those things that you do that help to bring yourself into a receptive place where we can receive things without it feeling like we have to do something all about it, or because this energy can invite like throwing the whole thing out. But coupled with the 4 of Air, that's not what we want to do. We're definitely taking a little break before we go too far. Awakening, second, third. This is the Judgment card. Yes, we're here. We're absolutely hearing the call. The messages are coming in. Are we taking time? Yeah, looking at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Like making these decisions, you have to be yourself. This is a 12 card. You know what? This is actually not Judgment. This is it's the Judgment card. No, this is actually in this deck. This is the Hanged Man. That's what it is. That's why Archangel Gabriel is upside down. But again, it's taking that different perspective. It's literally turning things around from different perspectives. Which, if we are taking, again, like we're being willing to put down all of these wands. I don't need to do all of this stuff. Being very realistic about what it is that you can carry. And taking a different perspective on things in order to be in collaboration and being willing to be patient. This is a card of patience. It's the card of Pisces. It's the card of but it's messages. It's being finding a more compassionate perspective for yourself. That maybe, oh yeah, I have picked up too much of this. How much do I really need to be doing? Being willing to be honest about what you don't want to carry. Oh, and then the sun comes out again. The sun card has come out 3 days in a row. There is no, you're going to get the looks you want. Take your time. Take your time to feel. This is also a card of feeling. Card of Pisces, card of lots of feelings might be coming up. But these are all like we have to pay attention to them. Do we need to go running off in a fiery manner? None of that is suggested at all here. Remember, these two came up together. And this card comes up again to illuminate, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence. Sometimes these things are so scary because they feel so fiery and I couldn't possibly put them down. You can't. Be patient and gracious with yourself. Take this time to know what it is that you really want, to admit it. To admit it. This is what I really want. This is really want to go. No, I don't really want to compromise on these things, and this is why. Like, to take the time to get clarity about that. But the clarity is here. I mean, it's just, things have gone too far to go back. And the changes are here. The needed changes are here, and there's so much on that to support that. I'm going to, speaking of support, I've pulled out the tarot of the gemstones again today. Oh, interesting. How did you get in there? Yeah, guarantee. Guarantee. It's a guarantee. If you are pulling in spirit, you are going to be working with as much resource, whatever you need, and like I said, to ground yourself during this time. Ground yourself, put your feet on the ground, go for a walk, get in your body. What makes your body feel good? What are the things that you do that make you feel valuable, that make you feel like you value yourself? And then start to kind of use that. Like, these are the things that make me feel good. Like, do I have enough time to this, or am I not? Am I overdoing and I don't have enough time for myself? Labradorite, King of Cups. So the King of Cups is also here for us. Labradorite is also a card of excellent communication. Excellent communication from, that one's going right over the house. Excellent, even with all of that, excellent communication, that you're being, again, receptive. This is a very receptive stone. Hearing, so we can start to change our perspectives and get better ideas about how to move forward. In whatever it is, these are strong cards. This is a strong man. This is somebody who's, again, another card of Pisces with Aquarius with it as well. Taking that, this is a masculine card. This is a masculine card. And I'm thinking about Labradors. Labrador retrievers. Yeah, he's going to know what he wants to go after, because his emotions, he has that more removed, he's not coming from this emotionally really sad place. He's not sad boy. He uses his emotions to cultivate wonderful relationships all around him, to make connections, to communicate well, to hear what other people. He's a great listener. Yeah, receiver. Anyway, I love you. This is the reading for Sunday. But if you have this, find this whenever you find it, it's totally fine. You receive it when you receive it, and make sure to share it, subscribe on any of the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want your own private reading, just direct message me. Or if you want to do a deeper dive on any of the cards, direct message me on any of the platforms. I love you. Have a great day.